Hi, welcome to Universal Interiors. This is Lez Engelstad. Very happy to be with you. And today we're doing something fun in the kitchen, and it's actually a big meal. Chicken divine. Well, it's a big meal, so to speak. It doesn't have to be, but I am actually going to put together a fan favorite, I would say. A couple of different people I asked, what do you love that I'd make? And chicken divine has come up a couple times. You call it a lot of different kinds of things, but from the church cookbook, which I love to follow, that's what I like, the name Chicken Divine. So what I've already done, I'm taking 4 chicken breasts, and you can do it a lot of different ways. It just calls for your chicken to be cooked already. So I've also made this more of a hot dish style too, but today I'm going to use this already done chicken breasts. Okay, first off, we're going to take broccoli, and I just buy these big old things, and it's a great way to do it. If you have fresh broccoli, oh, good for you. But this is just like little packages, and I'm just going to start first off and put this, kind of cover the bottom. I just did a little bit of a spray, whatever you want to do a little spray on the bottom. And I chose to do a 9 by 13 pan. So we're going to just take that frozen broccoli, or fresh, like I said, would be great. And I'm going to kind of just cover this pan. Okay, you may see it. I'm not going to take all of this. I'll put a little bit back in there today. So just about that much, almost covering this pan right there of the broccoli, okay? Then on top of that is where I'm going to stick these chicken breasts. Now, you can do this again, like I said, a couple of different ways. I'm actually going to cut it, and I'm going to do it in like about a half, okay? So I've taken 4. Again, I baked them yesterday, and what I put on the top, you may see, Rayna's kind of good at showing off things, that has a lemon pepper, and I'd use a non-salt, it's an organic seasoning, but I just don't do a salted version. But whatever you think you like, I would suggest definitely to use a poultry seasoning, hence the chicken. Thyme, it's a wonderful herb if you haven't discovered that on your chicken. So it looks kind of like that, okay? So I've taken the broccoli, and then I laid the chicken, and the next thing it tells us to do is to take and mix up mayonnaise, and I know sometimes I used to use Miracle Whip. It doesn't work as good. It can if you'd like to, but I'm going to do about half a cup here. So just a big old tablespoon with a little more to go. So there's about a half. I've taken a half a cup of the mayonnaise, and with that, I'm going to add to that, and you can do it all sorts of different ways too. I canned cream of mushroom soup is what a lot of people will have. This just happens to be a box style. So the recipe says chicken. I use the cream of mushroom. So just cream of chicken, cream of mushroom, just something with the keyword cream. And you thought we weren't going to talk about the calories today, but under this, I'm still coring it. So recall that from past. Make sure you use that core muscle while you are baking, making of anything. See, I'm sneaking in a little whipped cream. So I did probably about a tablespoon just to cream it up just a wee bit, and I'm just going to stir that up. Okay, so this is going to be my topping. The recipe that Rayna will probably show, it has curry mentioned. I don't put any of that business in there. I just use a little squirt of lemon juice and just kind of season it up, and just did a tish. Okay, you can do that, but if you are a curry fan, go right ahead and you can sneak that in there. Like I said, there's so many different recipes, but the majority of them call for curry. Okay, then I'm going to actually, it's a little bit thick, and I want to I'm going to probably sneak maybe a touch of water in right now, because I don't like the consistency. This is going to spread over the chicken, okay? So see, that kind of helps it up. It doesn't hurt anything. Some of y'all use the Campbell's. Then, of course, you're going to have your water, and the consistency will be a little bit thinner than that, okay? So I've done that, and I'm going to just spread that, hopefully kind of close to covering the whole thing with that. This is a good dish that you can even prepare ahead, and then maybe just pop it in the oven when you come home. You can do this if you're one of those really good organized people. then you have that waiting for you when you come home. Again, it looks kind of a little thick and lumpy, and but it does cover and go over this pretty good all in all. So I've got that business kind of looking like that. So the next thing that we're going to take is we're going to do, on the recipe tells us to pour, or kind of you have butter melted, which you get to watch me melt the butter today. My fans know me to not do anything microwave. I tease them all the time, different people that talk to me, but it's sure handy when you forget to melt it ahead of time. You can just take some butter, and then we're gonna do what the recipe calls for is soft breadcrumbs. So this is something that I do. I will just usually like cross over the end of the bread that you use. I kind of left that out on purpose. I had actually some toast or some croutons. That's also works. So this is just gonna be kind of soft, and you see what I've done? I'm just kind of squishing it on in there. So I'm gonna take that very melted butter by now, and the recipe calls for about a half a cup of soft breadcrumbs. So it should be just about that when I've taken 2 slices, and if it hasn't, see there? And if it hasn't done 2 crumbs, I just do this a little bit like that. I've done that for a long, long time. I keep crusts of the bread in the freezer, and so I use that on top of hot dishes or whatever. But now you've seen it's kind of majority of it is soft. And then I'm gonna just sneak that butter run on the top of that. And we'll stir all that on up there. Not a lot of ingredients, which is kind of fun, I think. And you'll just kind of if the best you can. I'll show you what I do too, is just kind of, so again, we just kind of crunch it on up here. And I probably will throw a little bit more toast, or look a little bit of a crunch on top of it too. But just kind of, you're spreading it out like this, okay? We're gonna just go straight on across like that, and try again to just kind of cover it. If you are baking this, you might want to look inside of there. If it's not, it should kind of cream out. If it's not, just sneak a little bit more about milk, water, butter, and just kind of stir that together. I've done that before too, to make the consistency a little bit better. So again, if I would have cut this chicken ahead of time, it would have been kind of laid out, smoothed out, and it would have looked a little prettier than this. But alas, cheese. Cheese covers up all those imperfections, right? So I'm just gonna spread out a whole bunch of good. I chose to use the pre-shredded, and also I've done a blend. The recipe, again, I bet we'll see a cheddar in there, shredded cheddar. So see, you just can kind of cover that up. Now, if it's not quite perfect, all that cheese on there makes your family happy, and you probably have some success. So that is, well, they say about a half a cup. Guess what? Let's say a generous cup went on this recipe. Okay, so that's kind of what it looks like, just like that. And I'm such a fan, so I am going to sneak in here and throw seasonings just a wee bit more. I've chosen, this is a lemon pepper, and this is called an herb citrus. So I'm just gonna sneak a little bit more, just because that's the love that I have. Extra season. You know what, that's life. Hopefully you season your day up today with some good, not this, but just some good little spice. You know what? Spice is good in life. So I'll put this in the oven at 350, and it calls for about 30 minutes. So we'll have this done, and you'll see it in a few moments. Okay, I think it's about time to pull that chicken divine out. Hey, that's like a little poem. There it is. Hopefully you will find this just as much fun to eat as it was to make. Okay, thanks again for tuning in.